Hey there. Hey, I'm coming out in front of the bar just so that I can show you what this is. This is a bench grinder. This is the machine that I used to originally cut my original blades. You can see that notch blade right there. It came off right off the grinder like that in the original format. Then I shaped it all. But this all started back in the day when we were using these things. These are lovely little Richards blades. Excellent oyster knife to use. It's designed to be an oyster knife. You use it, abuse it just for shucking oysters. You can use it to open letters or pry a paint can, but I would use it for oysters and then put it in a drawer and away you go. The problem with these knives, when you put it in a drawer, they can get a little rusty. So you have to take care of these blades really well. You dry them off, make sure they're bone dry before you put them in any drawer, or else they're gonna tarnish up and get a little bit rusty. These kids have been in the garage for about 400 years. They're just collector's items now. So this one, I'm going to show you how I grind on a grinder. And I can take anything, like I'm gonna take one of these beautiful little inox stainless steel blades. This one's from Beausoleil. Lovely little knife that you get. Thanks, Amade. Very nicely done. And so I'm gonna show you, because this one here also comes in fairly flat. It's got a beautiful tip to it, but the beautiful thing about these things as well, there's groups out there that use safety tips and they're completely blunt, and that's hard to get into. So you have to use a grinder to get this open. So I'm gonna show you how to do this on this machine, and then I'm gonna show you some secret tips on how to do it at home as well. First things first, you need a little bit of water, and you need a little bit of a cloth just to wipe things down, because the steel gets hot on a grinder. And if you blue the steel, if you turn it color or oxidize it, it's gonna get soft. So you just wanna have it nice and cool. So I've got my handy dandy bowl of water here, and we're gonna turn this on. Out in the nature, we have plugs out here. Ooh, fancy. So we got a high speed one and a slow speed one. This is a classic whetstone. There's water in here, and you can use this to polish and hone up your blade. Nothing is trued, so all the knife makers out there are looking at me going, dude, that's a terrible bench grinder. It's nothing square on it at all, because I use it in a different fashion. So I get my blade tip wet. If I want to sharpen up this outer edge here, I want to make it pointy like this, as opposed to like this, which is more squared. So you just each side you want to do it to a bit of a tip. You don't want to do the whole edge. You only want to do about this much. Only about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch long from the tip to the tail. And then you want to make sure the tip is pointed. Although this is beauty pointed, I'm going to round it. There's a roundy technique as well, so I can make my tip beautifully sharp and then round. And if you can see here, you can see I've already done that. I did that a long while ago, so I don't actually have to do it much to my own tips. But I just wanted to make sure that each one that comes out of the manufacturing process, sometimes they need a little bit of a tweak. And as a pro shucker, you want to tweak it just a little bit. So I take this and put it to my grinder. Out of the box, they're perfectly fine. I'm stupendously happy with them. These ones, the Malpec blades, even better. I don't know what they do with these, but these are fantastic when they come out. And the 4 ones, they're great too. Check it out. So those are ready to go, but I'm going to show you how to hone this up. So I take my little handy dandy oyster knife, and I'm going to come around this side. Hello. So I'm going to come around this side because it's easier for me to see, and I think it's going to be easier for you to see. I might actually, we'll just start like this. So I come around the edge that I want to see, and I keep it on an angle as well. You see there's going to be sparks coming off. Safety glasses. And so you just take a look at it. You don't put too much pressure on it. Just let the weight of the handle work itself. And you work it on an angle so you can see that you're cutting away some of the steel. There you go. Nice. And as you do that, you're going to want to do this. So as a right-handed person, you're only going to be able to do this side very well. Then you have to flip it around. And you want to get that up. See that? I blew the tip. Oh no, what am I going to do? I'm going to come around here and do the other side first. Like such. I'm going to come around and do this one. Dip it in water more often. I'll show you how to take care of the blue stuff. It's okay. And then I do apologize about not looking at you. It's hard to do it and not look. Okay. You see I honed it up to about this far. Thank you, sunshine, for showing me where my knife edge is. And I can look down the edge and you can see it's actually come together. It used to be squared like this, and now it's come together. So that's beautiful. This is super pointy now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take it on the side. I'm going to round it this way. When you rock it back and forth this way on the side, it actually creates a round cut on the steel. So if you can see it here, not very rounded, wait for it, and you always put it in on an angle as well. And that's the sound I'm sure you'll love. Look at that. Fixed out that blue. Super sharp tip. Oh, delicious. This will go well in a Beausoleil oyster, I tell you. And then this week you got to take this, and that's pretty well done. Now, if you want to polish it, I'm going to do polishing in a second, but I'm going to change the angle on the camera first so that you can actually see how this is going closer to the blade.